A very, very pleasant good evening, everyone. It is my pleasure to welcome you to this virtual Evening of Excellence ceremony for 2021. I am Kyrene Nathaniel de Carries. I am a lecturer in social work in the Department of Behavioral Sciences, and I am also currently the Deputy Dean for Undergraduate Student Matters for this year, this academic year 2021 into 2022. And I am really happy that so many of you, I'm seeing currently almost 160 persons have joined us for this virtual celebration this evening. And it is my honor to welcome all of you. And I am your chairperson for this evening's proceedings. Let me welcome our Dean, Dr. Akola Lewis Cameron, to bring welcome and some opening remarks. Dr. Cameron.
Thank you, Kyrene. Let me, first of all, begin by warmly welcoming members of executive management at the St. Augustine campus, members of our advisory board, colleagues in the Faculty of Social Sciences, parents, well-wishers, and of course, the graduating class. A pleasant good evening to all of you. It is indeed my pleasure to welcome you to the Faculty of Social Sciences Evening of Excellence 2021. And this year, we are celebrating with you under the theme, Dare to Believe. Undoubtedly, the years 2020 and 2021 have tested our tenacity, our grit, and our sheer will. Still, you, our dear graduates, have managed to navigate these challenging and uncertain times with par excellence. And this evening, we take the opportunity to celebrate you. One author states, and I quote, "One of the most powerful forces in the world is the will of men and women who believe in themselves, who dare to hope and aim high, who go confidently after the things they want from life." I share this concerning your immense achievement today, as I am sure you would have encountered many challenges during your academic journey. Those challenges may have manifested in personal and professional situations, or may have been inherent in the highs and lows of academia. More recently, we can all appreciate the challenges of the sudden shift from physical to online classes and the minimized interaction with lecturers and peers. Midway through your academic program, you experienced an unprecedented change in our teaching and learning strategies and had to endure many uncomfortable adjustments while still guarding your health and managing your general livelihood. Today, you are the second cohort etched into the history of the University of the West Indies with a legacy of not surviving a pandemic education, but excelling in the midst of it. While I know that the journey may have been strenuous, I am confident that you are leaving us with experiences and learnings that will assist you in your future roles and activities. Many of you will become specialists, managers, entrepreneurs, influencers, educators, and prolific leaders. I trust that the experience at the UWI St. Augustine, and particularly at the Faculty of Social Sciences, allowed you to become social scientists who are now ready to push the boundaries through innovative thought leadership, creativity, and most importantly, perseverance. Our region, and by extension, the world, requires a new breed of employers and employees who will throw away the proverbial box and act on possibilities that are yet to be realized, so that we can build economic, social, and environmental resilience for any unforeseen circumstances ahead. Based on your performance, I believe you are well equipped to be the game changers in this existing new normal. My advice is to take what 2020 and 2021 taught you and more importantly, who it allowed you to become and be the difference in your communities and in your respective countries. Your achievements today could not be realized without the help of your loved ones. And so I take time to recognize them and thank them for their solid support and perhaps encouraging words during those times you felt like throwing in the towel. They too traverse the rough transition with you and should also share meaningfully in your accomplishments. I recognize your lecturers, yes, your faithful lecturers who you laughed, cried, and perhaps even fought with. You can now reminisce of the days where you held your breath as you signed in to see your marks, or when you hoped lecturer X wouldn't mark too hard. I want to thank them personally for their dedication during this period, mainly because they had to also adapt to new circumstances to ensure that all of you received an optimal learning experience. And I am sure that they too are very proud of you this evening. Additionally, I want to thank our administrative staff who consistently work behind the scenes to ensure that you have the necessary tools to flourish academically. As I close, I wish to thank you for selecting UWI St. Augustine and the Faculty of Social Sciences as your learning institution of choice. The faculty remains committed to the mission of the UWI, which is to advance learning, create knowledge, and foster innovation for the positive transformation of the Caribbean and the wider world. We hope that many of you will decide to continue to advance yourself academically with us as we undergo changes in our curricula with new, relevant, and exciting programs emerging. Meanwhile, bask in this moment of outstanding achievement and continue to dare to hope, aim high, and go confidently after the things you want from this life. Again, congratulations to all our awardees and all the very best in your future endeavors.
Thank you very much to our Dean, Dr. Lewis Cameron, for those stirring words, sobering words, some in many respects, because we know that this has been an unprecedented time, and I want to join with her in recognizing your efforts this last year to bring you to this point of excellence. And so under the theme, Dare to Be, we launch into the formalities of this evening with the award of university prizes, campus prizes. And these are our prizes for students who have achieved excellence across the campus. And so we begin with the best academic performance at level 1 for Azara Ali. The best academic performance, level 2, Vishala Ram. And the award of the Silver Gilt Medal, a proud award to the level 3 student with the best academic performance, to Mark Dwarika. We now move on to the announcement of our faculty nominees. The Faculty of Social Sciences and every faculty nominates students for university prizes. And these would be prizes that are awarded across the university, across all the campuses of the University of the West Indies. So our nominee for the cross-campus faculty prize for the highest GPA at level 1, Azara Ali. The nominee for the Charles M. Kennedy Prize for the Bachelor of Science in Economics, the student who achieved the highest marks at level 2 and level 3 courses, Mark Dwarika. And our nominee for the Hugh Springer Prize for the most distinguished student who completed level 2 and level 3 examination, a name that we will become very familiar with by the end of this evening, Mr. Mark Dwarika. So I hope wherever you are applauding and congratulating your colleagues for their wonderful achievements for these campus prizes and these nominations for campus-wide prizes, university prizes as well. So our virtual congratulations to all of you. We move swiftly on, moving right along to the first class honors in the Faculty of Social Sciences. And we begin with the Department of Economics. And the head of the Department of Economics is Dr. Anne-Marie Mohammed. So the first class honors for students who pursued the BSc Economics major, Shania Ramjon. Shabana Sitaram. Mr. Mark Dwarika. Terran Pope. Hanuka Bellinger. Shania Lyons. Kiyomi Joseph. Rihanna Rajkumar. Sarah Ramdath. Aliyah Peterkin. Chelsea Campbell. Chelsea Statham. Christina Batiste. And Renee Jackson. For the BSc Economics Special, Shivani Mahes. Brittany Ford. And Jamal Wilson. We now move to the Department of Management Studies, and the head of the Department of Management Studies is Dr. Shelly-Ann Wilson. For the BSc Accounting Special, Weston Maraj. Celine Jadu. Sweta Bagwandine. Shivani Jagru. Terence Devdath. Carissa Budai, excuse me. Let me say that again, just for Carissa's benefit. Carissa Budai. Francis Fearon. Shana Toussaint. Andrelisa Medford. Samira Ali. Brittany Campo. Simran Lara. And Lynn Marie De Freitas. For the BSc Banking and Finance Special, David Esdell. For the BSc Human Resource Management Special, Dawson Sunu. For the BSc Insurance and Risk Management Special, Shania Sukai. For the BSc International Tourism Management Special, Dania Aubert. For the BSc Leadership and Management Special, Steffi Jackery. Aaron Maraj. Andrew Ward. And Moira Vera. For the BSc Management Studies major, Sarah Lee Ali. Shivani Budu. Nadira Cholai. Che Mohammed. Shania Rodney. Christina Sirju. Angel Gadraj. Renata Mark. Adam Bowen. Adrian Tony Adams. Chevelle Gerson. Amira Hosseini. Sarah Lakan. Shahana Debnath. Abd al Qadir Islam. Shreya Shah. Alyssa Ratan. Lian Ratan. Lauren Kangal. Sumir Janwani. Kajal Paladi. Stephanie Davis. Chelsea Ramnath Singh. Amrita Hanuman. Emily Ramkalawan. Angelica Ali. Amir Mohammed. Menka Ahuja. Kadeem Simon. And Aaron Rupchan. I'm sorry, Rupan. Let me say that again, Aaron. Aaron Rupan. Sachin Duki. William Ayin. Shadel Ramprasad. Eldria Rollins. Michael Bourne. Sabrina Mahabir. Stephanie Govaya. Celeste Wells. Vikash Singh. and Jabari Manmohan. For the BSc Management Studies Special, Christian Ratu, Michaela Maraj, Rochelle Katwaru, Annalisa Ramlogan, and Anjali Mitu. For the BSc Sports Management Special, Pratima Sukha. We congratulate all the first class awardees from the Department of Management Studies. And now we move to the Department of Political Science. And the head of the Department of Political Science is Dr. Charlene Roach. For the BSc International Relations Special, Jada Sami, Sharnet Alexander, Olivia Nichols, Ariel Khan, Kelsey Marie Seeley, Sadira Rajbansi, and Ayana John. For the BSc Political Science major, Shamar Breton, Takia McDavid, Kelisi Pegas, Jensen Samaru, Kyron Murdoch, and Clincher Simon. For the BSc Public Sector Management Special, Meera Ramjit. For the BSc Public Sector Management with Law for Social Sciences Special, Indira Usher. We also congratulate all the awardees from the Department of Political Science. And now I move to my home department. So you know I have a little lean on this side, but all achievements are celebrated in this forum. The awardees from the Department of Behavioral Sciences and our head of department, Dr. Talia Esnad. For the BSc Criminology and Criminal Justice, Chelsea Romilly, Deborah Lucas, Pavlo Otamas, Jordana Nanu, Darius Ramdani, Tyron Ramanohar, Vishana Ali, Crystal Saga, Stella Thomas, Shania Sunderland, Kavita Simangal, Priya Ramratan, Nicole Haricharan, Sharisa Steeple, Chanel Sobra. Mari Mitchell. Devi Baliram. Trinise Murray. Sadira Munan. Nikela Dennis. Chanel Marie Turner Sargent. Mary Ann Ramjatan. May I ask, please, my colleagues, I'm having a little problem with my internet. I just need to pause for literally 3 seconds, just for one moment before we go on with the Department of Behavioral Sciences. Thank you very, very much, everybody. Sincere apologies, everybody. I hope that sorted out the problem. Let's move on now to the BSc Psychology major. Kira Hussain. Kayla Garcia. Naomi Barnes. Bibi Razak. Tatiana Lewis. James Knox. Athena Lashley. Chelsea Maraj. Avani Sudas. Karina Ali. Matthew Evans. Emily Tulsiram Maharaj. Shavana Ramsran. Vanessa Chuni. Loyan Scotland. Peaches Batiste. Elma Keynes. Sierra Lopez. Nicholas Ward. And Emily Bihari. For the BSc Psychology Special, Suraya Ramsingh. Josiah Gosain. Bridget Alexander. Sila Isaiah. McKenna Bradshaw. Rabia Maraj, Maya Wilson, Mark Mohammed, Kezia Gaskin, Ariana Weatherhead, Kimberly Elcock, Alyssa Guman Singh, Aryan Ramsubag, Safira Wickham, Zayan Gopi Singh, Chelsea Hodge, Zaria Bembry, Alyssa Ramkisoon, Michelle Mani, Selena Sinarine, Mikaira Legendre Cooper, Indira Singh, Ariel Bostic, Stacy Spicer, and Shanique Joseph. On to the first class awardees for the BSc Social Work Special. Erica Cummings, Selena Evelyn, Kumal Baliram, Kadima Herbert, Alejandro Otero, Therese Sobers, and Aliyah Karim. And the first class awardee for the BSc Sociology is Hallie Samaru. So let me give a moment for us to congratulate all of our first class honorees, all of you who have worked so hard and achieved the highest honor in your different disciplines. Congratulations, everyone, to all of our awardees. Now we will pause for a little entertainment, a little interlude to fill our souls and to fill our spirits. And we have a spoken word presentation by Abdul Majid Abdal Karim. He's a 23-year-old Muslim. His journey in poetry and spoken word began in 2016 along with a few of his friends when they formed their own group. A year later, he took the stage at the 2017 Secondary School Poetry Slam hosted by the Two Cents Movement, and he achieved second place. From then, his experience in the art form continued to grow as he honed his craft under the mentorship and guidance of the Two Cents Movement. Later, becoming a popular face in the spoken word community. He made it to the finals of the First Citizens National Poetry Slam twice, first in 2019 and most recently in 2021. His writing and his performing are fueled by his grounding belief that he is nothing without his Lord, and therefore everything of himself is for his Maker. Join me in welcoming Abdul Majid Abdal Karim.
There is no violence like the velvet violets surging through our veins. No roses that wilt yet still have the will to rise. Red, like bread, like Digicel, we are rising stars, filled with passion that is thick like oil. We don't mix, but we can't spoil. Because we toil and toil time and time in searching for something missing, looking through crowds and containers, popping with eyeballs beyond stars, in scars, in smiles that only last for a little while, and in our weird kind of way, that makes us astronauts. You see, embedded in our threading is longing for new life forms and light to form, but we can't form life when we light years away from home. It's not a place. Home is a feeling right inside your solar plexus where everything connects us. And if you peel away your rib cage like ripping pages, you'll find caged in and raging the universe comprised of matter, so you and I matter. Matter, fat, forget the fat, skin and bones, irregular skin tones, you'll find that within our core there's so much more to us than that which we endure. So fertilize the reasons to skin teeth and make compost of your laughter. You are exactly what you're after in the pieces and puzzles and poetry and compositions you're always trying to put together. You are Picasso's and Basquiat being in human form, so keep on. Because the path is never always straight. And sometimes a walking stick might break. But remember, as you pass by, to leave some breadcrumbs for those that would come behind. Although their heads might be down sometimes, a head is definitely, sometimes, sunshine Hansel. These hands are held out to help you to Gretel. Your silver lining is made of metal and could never burst. You're born without sin, I say so. Don't believe in that curse. You are the sons, the daughters of so many drums that used to vibrate sternum. You spit stars and split seas in half without a staff. Your existence makes sense because you are the universe comprised of matter. All of it. So you and I matter, all of us. So dare to be. And if you find yourself at the end of the verse again, remember that you are all of it. Just one universe.
What a riveting performance by Mr. Abdul Majid Abdal Karim, reminding us of all that we could be if we believe, if we dare to be, because you and me, we are all of it and we matter. I am reminded of a recent reference that a friend of mine made to me. If you think you're too small to make a difference, you've never been in bed with a mosquito. I drop that one on you and I ask you to think about this as you go through the rest of this evening. And so it is my honor to welcome our feature presentation, our feature speaker for this evening, Dr. Shirley London, the CEO of Shirley Consultancy Limited Group of Companies and Pathway Consultancy Services Limited. Dr. London is an accomplished conference speaker, human development consultant. She is a trained social worker, a professional counselor, a trainer and facilitator of several professional and Christian counseling courses, seminars, retreats, and workshops for private and public sector organizations, both locally and internationally. She's also a published author, a mentor, and an international chaplain. Dr. Shirley Allman London is the Managing Director of Shirley Consultancy Limited, Group of Companies, and Pathway Consultancy Services Limited. She holds the degree of Doctor of Biblical Studies from Caribbean College of the Bible International Limited, with all distinctions and honors. She also holds a Master of Social Work degree with a concentration in social work management and administration from right here at the University of the West Indies. Additionally, she obtained a Bachelor of Science degree in social work with a minor in human resource management, also from right here at the University of the West Indies, and a certificate in counseling and psychology from the National Institute of Health and Research, Science and Technology, what was then known as NIHURST. Dr. Allman London is the recipient of awards, including a government scholarship to pursue the Bachelor of Science degree in social work at the UWI. She has been appointed as Distinguished Kingdom Ambassador and Minister Stateswoman to the United Nations under the appointment of Word of Life Ministries International. She's the sole NGO in special consultative status with the Economic and Social Council to the United Nations. These appointments have given her the right to use the titles the Honorable and Ambassador before her name, with all rights and privileges pertaining thereto of being an ambassador stateswoman. She also holds a diploma in chaplaincy and is licensed by the Canadian International Chaplaincy Association as an international chaplain. Dr. Allman London is a visionary and an entrepreneur who has been involved in media for several years. She has the unique ability to dine with princes as well as the poor and needy, and believes that her entire life is ministry to others. Her life-changing consultancy and ministry have developed over the years to impacting the lives of individuals in private and public organizations and families in Trinidad and Tobago and the wider global community. And it is my great pleasure to welcome our feature presentation by Dr. Shirley Allman London.
Master of Ceremony, Dean, Faculty of Social Sciences, members of the Social Sciences Advisory Board, heads of department, staff of the Faculty of Social Sciences, parents, other family members, friends, and well-wishers, specially invited guests, first-class honors and other awardees, good evening. I am honored and very grateful for this esteemed opportunity to share a few words with you. First-class honors and other awardees, congratulations on your outstanding accomplishment. The great Nelson Mandela coined these words: "Don't judge me by my successes. Judge me by how many times I fell down and got back up." I would like to share with you about the importance of resiliency. As your theme says, dare to be resilient, both professionally and personally. So my question to you as I begin is, when you began your journey, did you envision that you would be where you are today, having stayed the course and finished the race? Notwithstanding the obstacles, did you request that challenge and the other challenge over there and those challenges? Did you request the COVID pandemic? For me, I often reflect on my journey and how I ended up where I am. As someone who has fallen many times throughout my life, I have shared and I have learned so much. And I have shared how I learned to be resilient, taking risk and picking myself up after a number of falls. And I'm going to share with you today a few of those risks that I have taken. And I'm also going to give you a few tips on how you can dare to be resilient. All right? Now, number one, recognize that crisis presents opportunities. Embrace the challenge as a gift to grow and develop. Just before I completed my master's degree in social work, right here at the University of the West Indies, I'm proud to say my alma mater, I was in the first batch of master's students. And you know what happened? My dear husband of 25 years died. And 2 weeks after, my husband died. My father died as well. I'm sorry. I experienced so much trauma during that time. However, in the midst of the intense pain and grief, 6 months afterwards, I resigned from my job at a state enterprise. And guess what I did? I established my consultancy. You know, I took the risk to follow my dreams, and I experienced many highs and lows, having to care for my 3 sons, but I kept on going in spite of the challenges, to the extent where, do you know, I now own 4 companies. I have pursued and successfully completed doctoral degree in biblical studies. I have published 8 books that I utilize as textbooks for courses that I design and teach in-house and now virtual. And not only that, my clientele has increased, my God, tremendously over the years. All thanks to my God. You know, I want to say to you all this evening that if it wasn't for God, I don't know where I would have been. And I want to encourage you to put God first in your life. In spite of what you do, put him first in your life. Number 2, utilize positive self-talk to encourage you, especially during this time, during this pandemic time. Declare over your life the positive, because let me say this, if you wait for persons to declare what is good over your life, I can tell you, many of us will wait a long time. But you declare over your life what you want to happen in your life. You declare over your life your dreams. Don't wait for anybody to speak over your life. You speak over your life. You declare and encourage yourself. Declare that. And I'm going to declare over your life today. And I'm declaring that you are a leader. You were born to lead. You are special. I want you to know that, yes, you are special in spite of what people say you are special. You are the head and you are never the tail, above and never beneath. And let me say this, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. I want you to know that there's purpose in you. You will not be afraid in spite of what you face, as you dare to be resilient in spite of what you face, in spite of what you got to go through in this life. I want to encourage you, and I'm declaring over your life that you will not be afraid. You will accomplish your purpose. You will go to the top. There ain't nothing stopping you, and you will be successful. Number 3, forgive. Yes, I know that you did not do anything to them. I know that. But you know what? Understand that forgiveness is not for them, you know. Forgiveness is for you, to free you. Many times we hold people in our hearts. Many of those persons are long gone, they have died, they have gone, and we still hold them. And do you know that that's a burden that you carry on your shoulder every day? Yes, you have accomplished. Yes, you have done a lot of things, but that's a burden upon your heart. And what you want to do is to release it. Release it. Shed the burden. Because there's a saying that goes like this. Unforgiveness is drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. I want to encourage you that as you dare to be resilient, that you choose to forgive. Number 4, understand that some of the most important lessons are not learned in books, you know, and that adapt to every situation that you have to face. You know, I like to call it practice wisdom. That's what you learn as you step out into the world of work and you have your experiences. Yes, you will impart your theoretical knowledge that you would have gained at the university, but the things that you experience as you navigate your journey are the things that would be there embedded in your heart. And those are the things that will help to shape your personality, even in addition to what you have learned in the classroom. You know, as a trained social worker and professional counselor, I understand the importance of empathy. That word empathy is such a very important word, especially for persons in the health professions. I understand the importance of empathy from a theoretical perspective. However, we social workers and others in the helping professions have come to understand true empathy when we have similar experiences to those of our clients. The point is that our experience helps to soften us, as it were. Do you know that I lost my son, my last son, unexpectedly 2.5 years ago? What did he die from? Dengue hemorrhagic syndrome. He was 25 years old, very ambitious, like a lot of you, like all of you, if I may say. And that experience, coupled with my past losses, has enabled me to demonstrate empathy in a way that no book could have taught me. With all that I have acquired, with all that I have gained over the years, my experience in pain and grief. And I know that a lot of us right now, in fact, all of you who are listening to me, would have experienced some kind of grief and some kind of pain and some kind of loss in this time, in this pandemic time. So you understand what I'm saying. Yes, we learn about it in the textbook, but when we go through, when we are able to identify with our clients and we experience that level of empathy, no book can teach us that. And that is what helps to keep us going on and to help us to be more effective as professionals. Graduates, I want to implore this evening, all of you, dare to be resilient by adapting to the new normal. The road ahead will be unpredictable, but position yourself and utilize every opportunity to accomplish your God-given purpose. And I say God-given because he's the one who has created you for purpose, not man. He brought you on earth for a purpose. And so the world now is your playing field. Play your game. Play your game. Play your game. The field is different for each one of us. Play your game with integrity. Play your game with creativity. Play your game with excellence. Play your game with humility. Play your game with a genuine concern and care for the well-being of others. And play your game with much, much prayer. In closing, your resume will reflect your accomplishment at the University of the West Indies. But always remember that you carry the torch for every University of the West Indies campus throughout the Caribbean. Let me leave these words of Confucius with you. Our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. And let me personalize it now. Your greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time you fall. So I challenge you, dare to be resilient. I thank you.
Wow. I'm not a graduate but I do feel like Dr. London was talking as much to me as she was to all of you. And I dare say that she also was speaking to your relatives and to each of us who, all of the 200 plus of us who is on this, who are in this meeting, in this ceremony this evening. And I know that Dr. London is a proud beacon for social work and for betterment and for human good. And I wish to thank her and for her stirring, very, very stirring words, and for her open sharing of her story with all of us. And that is a gift in itself. So thank you, Dr. London. So everyone, we continue with our award of prizes, and we move now to a very special part of our ceremony, the award of special prizes to the most outstanding students from the different programs in the different departments. And we begin with the Department of Economics. The first two prizes sponsored by the head of department, Dr. Anne-Marie Mohammed. First, for the most outstanding level 2 student, Karis Mohammed. And for the most outstanding students in industrial economics, Kiyomi Joseph. Dr. Althea Lafourcade sponsors the prize for the most outstanding student in health economics, and that prize goes to Christina Batiste. Dr. Anthony Birchwood is the sponsor of the prize for the most outstanding students in econometrics, Chelsea Statham. The most outstanding student in energy economics, sponsored by Ms. Janelle Spencer, also to Chelsea Statham. The prize for the most outstanding student in international trade, sponsored by Dr. Rebecca Gokul Bosland, to Aliyah Peterkin. Dr. Ewan Scott sponsors the prize for the most outstanding student in public finance to Shivani Mahes. Dr. Darren Conrad sponsors the prize for the most outstanding student in urban and regional economics to Bridget Gopal. And the prize for the most outstanding student in developmental economics is sponsored by Dr. Lester Henry to Adia Brown. A very special prize sponsored by Dr. Anne-Marie Mohammed, the Dennis Panton Memorial Award for Excellence in Econ 3034 Resource and Environmental Economics to Chelsea Statham. And congratulations to those special prize awardees for the Department of Economics. We now move to the most outstanding students in the Department of Management Studies. So we begin with a prize sponsored by the Department of Management Studies for the BSc Management Studies major and recipient of the George Wadinam Biarachi Prize for the student with the highest GPA in the Department of Management Studies, and that prize goes to Chelsea Ramnath Singh. The prize for the most outstanding student in the BSc Accounting Special is sponsored by the ACCA, and that prize is, there are two awardees for that prize, Weston Maraj and Samira Ali. First Citizens Bank sponsors the prize for the most outstanding student in the BSc Banking and Finance Special, and that prize goes to David Esdell. HRC Associates Limited sponsors the most outstanding student in the BSc Human Resource Management Special to Dawson Sonu. The most outstanding student in the BSc International Tourism Management Special, the prize is sponsored by Doctors Akola Lewis Cameron and Leslie Ann Jordan Miller, is awarded to Dania Aubert. And the Department of Management Studies sponsors the prize for the most outstanding student in the BSc Insurance and Risk Management Special to Shania Sukai. The prize, sponsored by the National Entrepreneurship Development Company, NEDCO, is awarded to the most outstanding student in the BSc Leadership and Management Special, Aaron Maraj. The Department of Management Studies also sponsors a prize for the most outstanding student in the BSc Management Studies Special to Anjali Mitu. And the International Center for Sports Studies sponsors the prize for the most outstanding student in the BSc Sports Management Special to Pratima Sukha. Deloitte and Touche awards a special prize for auditing to Sweta Bagwandine and Shivani Jagru. These are special prizes for specific disciplines or courses. A special prize sponsored by the Tourism, Hospitality and Sports Unit for Tourism, Hospitality and Sport to Pratima Sukha. The DMS, MIS and OR disciplinary group sponsors the prize for a special prize for MIS OR to Annalisa Ramlogan. Sahara Eco Consulting Services Limited sponsors a special prize for business law in semester 1 to Evan Trim. Sahara Eco Consulting Services Limited also sponsors the prize for business law semester 2 to Dariel Ramharak and DeAndre Augustin. They also sponsor the prize for the Industrial Relations semester 1 to Adrian Tony Adams. And Industrial Relations semester 2 to Shivana Ramsaran and Gabrielle Simbu. We congratulate all of the most outstanding students and special prize awardees from the Department of Management Studies. We now move on to the most outstanding students for the Department of Political Science. Dr. Theodore Tudorio sponsors the prize for the most outstanding student in the BSc International Relations Special, Ayana John. Professor Anne-Marie Bissessa sponsors the prize for the most outstanding student in the BSc Political Science major to Kyron Murdoch. Dr. Mukesh Basdev sponsors the prize for the BSc Public Sector Management major to Meera Ramjit. The prize for the most outstanding student in the BSc Public Sector Management with Law for the Social Sciences Special, also sponsored by Professor Anne-Marie Bissessa, to Indira Usher. For most outstanding student performances at level 2, Dr. Priya Maharaj sponsors the prize for the BSc International Relations Special to Sarah Hussain. Professor John Laguerre sponsors the prize for the best performing student at level 2 BSc Political Science major to Shivani Nairandath Maharaj. Professor Sterling Frost sponsors the prize for the most outstanding level 2 student in the BSc Public Sector Management with Law for the Social Sciences Special to Cheyenne Roberts. We also recognize most outstanding performances at level 1. Dr. Priya Maharaj sponsors the prize for the BSc International Relations Special to Asim Baksh. Dr. Mukesh Basdev sponsors for the BSc Political Science major, most outstanding student at level 1, Sarah Sylvester. And Dr. Charlene Roach sponsors the prize for the most outstanding level 1 performance in the BSc Public Sector Management with Law for the Social Sciences Special to Kamisha Serapiu. The most outstanding student in the Certificate in Public Administration the prize is sponsored by Dr. Bishnu Raghunath to Abigail George. We congratulate all of our special prizes and most outstanding students in the Department of Political Science. We now move on to the most outstanding students for the Department of Behavioral Sciences. And we begin with students in the social work program. Dr. Kendra Pitt sponsors the prize for the most outstanding student in the BSc Social Work Special at level 1 to Nada Luknanan. Yours truly has kindly sponsored the prize for the most outstanding student at the BSc Social Work Special Level 2 to Jewel Gonzalez. And Dr. Camille Huggins has sponsored the prize for the most outstanding student at the Social Work Level 3 BSc Social Work Special to Kumal Baliram. This name will also be familiar to us because Mr. Baliram also receives the prize for the most outstanding contribution in social work as a student during his time in his degree program, the Krista Lakpat Singh Prize, which is sponsored by the Department of Behavioral Sciences. And Kumal also receives the Wayne Naranjit Prize for his performance in the course Social Disability Studies, which is sponsored by the Faculty of Social Sciences. So we congratulate Kumal on his achievements. We now move on to the criminology and criminal justice programs. So special prizes are sponsored by Dr. Randy C. Prasad, Dr. Wendell Wallace, and Dr. Melissa Neptune Figaro for the most outstanding performances in the BSc Criminology and Criminal Justice. To Chelsea Romilly, Jordana Nanu, Darius Ramdani, Vishana Ali, Trinise Murray, Pavlo Otamas, and Sadira Munan. The most outstanding students for the BSc Sociology program sponsored by Dr. Anand Rampasad to Hale Samaru. Most outstanding performances in the psychology programs. Dr. Heather Hollingsworth and Mrs. Felicia Frederick Davis sponsor the prize for the most outstanding performance in the BSc Psychology at Year 1 to Samaya Razak. Dr. Christine Descartes and Mr. Harold Pulwati sponsor the prize for the most outstanding performance at Year 2 to Portia Gopal. And the Answer McCall Psychological Research Center sponsors for the most outstanding BSc Psychology students at Year 3 to Mikaira Lejeune Cooper. We also have some special prizes sponsored by TATIL for the best research projects in psychology in the final year. And the first place, these are group projects, and so these are group awardees. The first place prize for the project, The Plight of Tomorrow, the impact of anxiety on academic procrastination, is awarded to Ariel Bostic, Kezia Gaskin, Zayan Gopi Singh, Josiah Gosain, and Suraya Ram Singh. The prize for the second place for the project Social Loneliness, Self-Esteem and Friendship Quality, awarded to Michelle Mani, Rabia Maraj, Kimberly Elcock, Mark Mohammed, and Indira Singh. There are actually two projects that were awarded the third place prize. The first for the project Determining the Impact of Transitioning to Online Learning on the University of the West Indies St. Augustine campus's students' psychosocial well-being with reference to anxiety and depression, and resilience during the COVID-19 pandemic. And those group members, the group members include Harsh Ramdas, Zakia Ali, Zaria Bembri, Selena Manmohar, and Sila Isai. The other third place prize for the project, The Stressful Challenges Associated with the COVID-19 Pandemic and the Coping Mechanisms of Final Year UWI Students, to Aryan Ramsubag, Carleen Pereira, Shivani Ramsawak, and Ariana Weatherhead. I wish to pause at this point, colleagues, to wish heartfelt congratulations to all of our students who have really pushed themselves this year, who have achieved greatness in their own disciplines, and we have been pleased to recognize your achievements, to recognize excellence in this virtual way, but nonetheless celebratory. Nonetheless, we are excited and we are so very, very proud of all of you for all of your achievements. We also thank the sponsors for all of these prizes, without whom we could not recognize your achievement in such tangible ways. I see the chat is full of congratulations, people adding their congratulations for individual students and for all of you. And I join with them to just celebrate your accomplishments in such a way. We now have a very, very special presentation, a video presentation by students in support of our theme for this year's Evening of Excellence, Dare to Be.
Dare to be.
Dare to be.
Dare to be powerful.
Dare to be resilient.
Dare to be successful.
Dare to be exceptional.
Dare to be.
Dare to be an achiever.
Dare to be someone who wants to see change in our politics and in our society.
Dare to be.
Dare to be. Dare to be great.
Dare to be exceptional. Dare to be inspired. Dare to be confident.
Dare to be extraordinary. Dare to be a passionate failure and a proud outcast. Thomas Edison tried 10,000 times before he found a way to make the light bulb. Never give up.
Dare to be another success story.
Dare to be. Dare to be a game changer.
Dare to be enthusiastic.
Dare to be outstanding.
Dare to be greater.
Dare to be fearless.
Dare to be a global citizen that creates a better world for generations to come.
Forever thankful for doubters and the past and the people who laugh on her. Forever grateful for all the times I failed. And Papa say, oh son, you can't give up. What's for you is for you. I said, Papa, you...
Bravo, bravo. And I want to add my own dare to be. Dare to be humble. Dare to be grateful. And I am sure that all of you who are part of this celebration this evening are grateful to see the end of your programs, are grateful for the support of your family, your friends, your lecturers, the people in your community, your colleagues. You have seen the other side of that degree journey. You've achieved this part of your milestone and this milestone on your journey, and we share and we celebrate with you. I just want to add one small, it's not so small, in fact. It may not be maybe by divine design that we celebrate this evening of excellence on the night of All Souls, the celebration of All Souls that happens across the Christian community. And I also want to acknowledge that while we have been toiling and we have been journeying to this success, this moment of excellence and achievement and pride, we have also lost along the way. We have lost friends, we have lost relatives. Here at the university, we've lost colleagues. And I want to beg for a moment for us to acknowledge the deep grief and trauma that we also have been through in this year and continuing, because we know that the COVID pandemic still remains very much with us. And there is so much loss that is just, it's impossible for us to add up the cost that this year has meant for many, many of us. We in the faculty have heard the stories, have heard from students the things that they've been through, and some of you have really been through the wars of grief and loss and challenge during this time. And so on this night of All Souls, we also want to acknowledge those who have blazed a trail, who have influenced us in any way, and who we mourn during this time. So I wanted to just pause just for a couple of seconds, just to acknowledge those who we still long for. So I thank you for that indulgence. And so as we are almost at the end of our program this evening, I wish to welcome Dr. Wendell Wallace, our Deputy Dean for Marketing, Distance and Outreach, who's also an attorney at law and mediator and lecturer in criminology and criminal justice in the Department of Behavioral Sciences, who is going to deliver the vote of thanks. Dr. Wallace.
Thank you, Dr. Kerry Nathaniel Kerries. Good evening to all persons present at the Faculty of Social Sciences Evening of Excellence 2021, where we at the Faculty of Social Sciences celebrate our excellent performing students for academic year 2020 to 2021. There's an often repeated and Caribbean flavored saying that all good things must come to an end. And so, the Faculty of Social Sciences Evening of Excellence must come to an end, at least for 2021. I am Dr. Wendell C. Wallace, and it is a distinct pleasure to bring closing remarks at the FSS Evening of Excellence 2021. I will certainly keep my remarks brief. However, I cannot pass on this opportunity to see how much our students in the Faculty of Social Sciences mean to us, and by extension, the entire University of the West Indies, as well as how tremendously pleased we are, both for those students who are with us this evening at this celebratory occasion, as well as for those students who are not with us this evening. First, I must congratulate all of the award winners. Second, I'm truly honored to be here this evening bringing closing remarks at this function, celebrating the achievements of our brilliant young students at the Faculty of Social Sciences, many of whom I've had the pleasure of interacting with. The Faculty of Social Sciences Evening of Excellence is an occasion of joy for all of us, and this includes parents, students, administrative, and academic staff, well-wishers, friends, loved ones, as we come together to celebrate this auspicious moment. It goes without saying that this ceremony is among my most treasured occasions as a member of staff. Indeed, what this evening does to me and to the rest of my colleagues is that it provides us with an opportunity to reflect on the preceding year, to address academic and the wider community, and to share the achievements and successes of our students who have excelled in their academic pursuits. To the awardees this evening, I pose this question. At the start of your university journeys, how many of you envision that at the end of your undergraduate journey, that you would be recipients of awards as outstanding performers? I want you to ponder on that question. Maybe some of you did, maybe none of you, or maybe all of you. However, irrespective of your answers, it is imperative to take note of the age-old adage that no man is an island. Therefore, when we achieve, we usually do so because others have assisted us. And it's important to say thank you to those individuals and organizations who assisted along the way. Yet, not many of us are aware of the power of the words thank you. Those simple words mean a lot. As an academician, and from my personal perspective as well as my personal experience, saying thank you is a distinguished mark of gratitude and humility. With that said, I urge you to now look at your friends, look at your family members, your loved ones, your lecturers, your tutors, your sponsors, and say a heartfelt thank you. Feel free to put your thank yous in the chat as you have been doing thus far this evening. Keeping in mind that I must practice what I preach, on behalf of the Dean of the Faculty of Social Sciences, Dr. Kola Lewis Cameron, staff at the Faculty of Social Sciences, and my good self, I extend a hearty thank you to the Master of Ceremony, Dr. Kerry Nathaniel Keries, members of the campus executive, members of the Social Sciences Advisory Board, importantly, our excellent feature speaker, Dr. Shirley Almond London, valued sponsors including ACCA, TATL, First Citizens Bank, NEDCO, Deloitte & Touche, DMS, MIS, and OR Disciplinary Group, Sahara Eco Consultancy Limited, the Criminology Unit, and the Tourism, Hospitality, and Sports Unit, as well as the International Center for Sports Study. I must also extend a hearty thank you to the Ansa McCall Psychological Research Center, to you, the Dean, Dr. Kola Cameron Lewis, our esteemed leader within our faculty, to all heads of department, to academic and administrative staff at the FSS, to the individuals who provided entertainment, the staff at the marketing and communication department who are often forgotten, but who work and who provide yeoman service behind the scene, parents, family members, friends, well-wishers, specially invited guests, and most importantly, you, our first-class honorees, as well as our other awardees. As the evening of excellence comes to a close, I must thank you for being here with us this evening, and I trust that this activity has given you a much clearer understanding of what we do at the FSS, as well as how much our students can achieve, and indeed, how much they have achieved. For the staff at the Faculty of Social Sciences, we will be back in 2022 with another group of students to showcase their excellence, our excellence. In closing, my simple yet significant bit of advice to the awardees is as follows. Now that you have received first-class awards and other awards for your academic prowess, I urge you to become or to continue being first-class citizens of your respective jurisdictions. Remember, you dared to be, and you achieved. Thanks again to everyone for being here with us at the FSS Evening of Excellence 2021, and do have a great evening. Thank you.
After that very warm vote of thanks, there's not a lot left to be said, except to wish you all well, to add my own thanks for your time this evening, for being part of this celebration. Virtual, it doesn't really, it doesn't dull the excitement and the joy and the pride and the achievement that you have in fact accomplished during this time. So I thank you all once again for being here, being part of this. I thank your families on behalf of all of you. I thank my colleagues for sharing in this space with you and for us. And I ask you please to continue to stay safe, to stay well, to please continue to follow all of the COVID protocols and to be patient and to hold strain that we will see the other side of this pandemic, another side of this pandemic in which we feel a lot more in control of ourselves and what we do. I wish you all well, peace, everyone. God bless you, and good night.